welcome to another episode of Tiny Nest. I'm Kiva.
And I'm Jake. This series is following our tiny house project from the early stages through to completion and beyond.
In this episode, we show how we made our couch. We decided to go with a simple design that would leave maximum storage space underneath the seating surface. So we screwed together little frames to act as legs and fastened down 3/4 inch plywood to make a solid platform on top. Since it's an L-shaped corner couch, we constructed two separate rectangular segments.
Alright, here is the couch. These two pieces are going to form an L in the corner of the sort of living room here. And we've started to get a bit thrifty when it comes to building stuff. Like, we're trying to use up materials that we have left over. So as you can see, this is pretty rough plywood, and it's leftovers from our subfloor and our roof, which at the time of filming this is like, let's just say a long time ago. So this has been kicking around in a little storage shack on the side of the house, and we thought we'd make use of it. And we also just found some scraps of wood and some leftover 2x2s, and sliced them down the table saw for the right pieces. Most of this won't be visible, so we chose some sort of nice wood here, and we did put a little bit of the clear coat on it, just a couple surfaces that will actually be visible and could possibly get kicked or something spilled on it or whatever. And then everything else is just untreated, dry. Like, the 2x2s are going to be what's against the wall. And on the underside, I'm just going to get this into place. We did sand the top surface just to clean it up a little bit. And to hide the, like, what would be the cut edge of the plywood, we put a stained piece of wood, sort of following the theme of like the ceiling and the white and the wood combination. And so the other thing I'll have to do here is remove this paper, obviously, under the legs. The plan here is I'm going to screw through the legs in the back and stuff, wherever makes sense, just to keep it pretty solid so it's not moving around. There's no like diagonal bracing or anything. It's not meant to sort of stand on its own. It's meant to actually get affixed to the structure, like to the walls and stuff. And oh yeah, we put, it was basically just like a sheet of felt, so we could cut our own shape for it's like furniture feet padding. And so we put that on there because it will be directly against the floor, and if there is a bit of movement or whatever, we don't want it to like scuff the floor right around there. And the one other thing I'll point out, I guess, is for the look, like it's all screwed together, and we hid the screws by sort of coming in from whatever angle would be not seen. So in this case, they're coming up from below, and that leaves it with not the best like finish here. So we might put something to cover that, but in general, it looks okay. And when this top rough thing is covered with the cushion, I think it's gonna actually look all right. So now it's just loosely in place, and you'll notice that I made sure that the legs on this piece and the last leg on this piece would sort of line up to make a bit of a corner, and also that there'd be a bit of a mating of this sort of trim edge. Alright, I got it all fastened down and together. I screwed the two pieces together here and in there, and then I've got screws kind of into the bottom plate, because that's some wood I can fasten into all the way along. And then in the corners, like up in there and up that way, I put screws, and that will prevent the thing from being able to shift and kind of clunk against the walls. So it's pretty good. If I shift my weight around, flail around a little bit, it's good. Nothing's moving or clunking. It feels really solid. So just to get the couch functional, we've bought a fairly cheap, very simple slab of foam. It's a double size mattress, and it's just the right amount that if we cut it lengthwise, we can get a slab that will fit that part of the couch, and then the other slab should just about fit the other one, and then we'll probably just wrap it in fabric to start, and it'll be a bit of an evolution, but I'm going to try to cut this with it's like a razor knife, and I'm just going to use this piece of trim here to get my line figured out. There we go. Just gonna leave the plastic on it for now, just to keep it protected. And then we'll have to get some fabric to finish it off.
Here's where our couch is at now. As you can see, we still need some cushions for the back, but for the cushions that we sit on, what we did is we just took a foam mattress and cut it in half to fit the L shape of our couch. And then this is just some fabric that I've wrapped around the foam and secured with snaps. So there's one half of the snap attached to the fabric, and the other half of the snap is actually, we screwed it into the plywood of the couch. So the fabric acts to cover the foam and also keep it from moving around because it's attached to the couch itself. I think it was the first night after we finished the couch. In the night, Ben decided to jump up here and try out the couch and scratched it here. I don't know, I think he just like flailed and scratched the fabric. So he actually has his own spot over here that we wrapped in an additional tablecloth, but we hadn't shown him where his spot was yet. We've had this couch for about 6 months now, and we've been sitting on it every night. And we have noticed that the foam has compressed quite a bit. And we were warned by the place that we got it that that would happen because it's just like a cheap medium foam, but we just thought we would get this to start with. So today we are going to go and get some more cushion. Another couple things are that we decided to do away with the extra Ben blanket we had on his side. We found that we ended up wanting to wash the blue fabric pretty often anyway, so we just thought may as well just wash one layer instead of two. We've also added a number of pillows and blankets for the couch, and this layout has been working out really well. It's really comfortable, and then it's also kind of separated the human area from the Ben area, and he pretty much stays on that side. So I think eventually we'll end up swapping out some of the pillows or covers just to get it to have a certain look, but for now it's really comfy and working good.
Pro tip, don't try to cut the foam like I did with a razor knife. I had to cut and then keep cutting deeper, and I tried to keep it straight, but I ended up doing like a really embarrassingly bad job of it. So part of what we're going to do today is we're going to bring these pieces in with us to the foam shop, ask them to cut just enough off to square up my crappy edge, and then use the resulting corrected piece as a template for cutting the new pieces that we're going to buy today. Another little thing is the total width of the entire foam mattress was such that this narrower piece seemed like it was a little bit too narrow, and so we sort of shimmed it out with these little crappy strips to try to, push it off so that it would press against the other piece and hold it in place, which did work, but they have just been a total pain when trying to get the fabric around. They're like moving around and getting all twisted and stuff. So I think we're just going to do away with them, and hopefully it will fit okay. And I think especially because we're going to be adding a couple more inches and it's going to be raised up, it's going to keep the fabric tight around it in a different way. So that's just another little detail I want to point out about our the process we've gone through. Got the foam. Time to put it in. So here are the pieces. There's the 4-inch sort of cheapo medium foam, and then we got this extra firm high density that's 2 inches, and it's gonna sit underneath. So as we sit and squish through this, instead of bottoming out against the hard plywood, we hit like a firmer foam. All right, we got it fit into place and layered. So here's the 2 inches of extra firm underneath, and then the 4 inches on top. And I just want to also point out that this one is the original that we had to start with, but over here on Ben's side, where we had like those strips to shim it out, without those shims it was a little bit too narrow, and we might have ended up with a gap where they meet here. So we just opted to buy a new piece and have them cut it to size at the same time that they were cutting the underlayer, so that they fit perfectly. They fit tight here, and pretty happy with the result so far. So now we just need to put the fabric back on and see how it looks when it's all done.
We got everything back on the couch, and it's way more comfy than it was before. Our sort of fabric folding around method was a bit of a pain because the foam is bigger now, but it is good because now it's nice and tight. And let's see if Benjamin still remembers where his bed is. Do you want to come up on your bed? Good boy. It's comfy, huh? Ben is a very lucky boy because not only does he have the same double layer foam that we do, but he actually got a nice fresh top piece of foam too. That was so cute.
And we almost forgot to point out just how much storage there is underneath the couch. I'm using a flashlight here just because it's a bit too dark for the camera to pick up otherwise, but we've got things like files, a laptop bag, a bunch of totes full of miscellaneous stuff, other electronic stuff, and over here there's some things that are going to be used eventually for the control of the house. There's like actually a box full of stuff behind there. You can also see there's some ducting there. It's part of a system that's not functional yet, but we tucked it up underneath there. And yeah, just oodles of space under there.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like what we're doing here, and turn on email notifications so you never miss a video. You can also find extra resources in the description below.
We spend countless hours making these videos for YouTube. So if you appreciate our work, take 3 minutes to watch the video in the top left tile to learn some ways that you can support us for free.
We'd really appreciate it.